Those are boss pedal. Boss pedal. Alright, so now we'll hook up our gauges to our vacuum pump. Once again. And Jesse will kindly turn it on. And then we'll just let that pull a vacuum while we do other things.
Such as wrapping the shit up.
Yeah. Just sit them on anywhere. Alright. So to button this guy up, first thing we gotta do is place our bulbs for our expansion valves. Now if you recall, the front expansion valve bulb goes on the left side return. So it'll go right in line there. And then the one on the rear goes to the right side return. So copper bends. Be nice to it. It's going to have to bend flat because it's got to go underneath our electrical panel there. Okay. And you want to keep your lines here fairly level. You don't want this at the bottom. You don't want it to sit like this, because if something gets into this capillary tube, it'll clog it. So you want to keep it at least level, if not going at the top when it's strapped in place. So your E-valve kit comes with a small variety of zip ties. Small variety of zip ties. So you use, and you have to supply your own metal tape. Unfortunately, just take a little strap. And you're just gonna put it on top of your return line. Right there, sir. It just needs to make contact with that return line, because how it works is this return line gets cold to a certain temperature as the chamber cools down, which will decrease, it'll cool down the bulb as well, which decreases the pressure inside, closing the valve inside here, restricting the flow of Freon further. When it restricts more, it makes the expanding Freon colder. So if it doesn't have that ability to change with the temperature of the output, it's going to not cool efficiently. It'll stick at negative 15 degrees or something rather than pulling negative 35. They're variable. That's your science lesson for the day. This guy. Back over here. You don't want to kink these, obviously, because they won't work. And Jesse providing some soundtrack. I like it.
Drum roll.
A little drummer boy over here. And then that'll go about right there. Again, leaving the actual capillary tube that goes to the valve higher than, it's not at the bottom of the valve, or the bulb. So we tape those. Grab a couple. That is the last two. Grab a couple of zip ties. Zip those guys under. 2 zip ties per bulb. It's not, you know, it's not absolutely necessary. That's just how Leica does it and how, you know, I figured they do it for a reason, right? So you zip them on there, and then you'll also do the same sort of thing with the temperature sensors that you've removed from the system. We'll get to that in one moment.
I almost dropped the camera.
Woo!
No, it would have been Jeffy's fault.
Did you want this cup?
Jesse's fault. Jesse's fault.
No.
Alright, so you got this guy. Goes on the bottom. That's cool. And zip tie. Sensors don't really need more than one zip tie. And you got this little guy up here that goes on. Again, we don't use the little thermocouples like it does. I mean, you can with a little bit of savvy. If you're good with your meter, you actually use your meter with the probes on the temperature setting instead of using the thermocouple hookup. And again, when you're taking these sensors off, just make note of where they came from. They're all numbered. Very easy to keep track of, unless you're stupid like me. Snip, snip, and snip. And then once you have your bulbs and your sensors in place, you just wrap it up with the foam tape that is, or insulation tape that is provided in the E-valve assembly kit. This is the good stuff. This is the German stuff. You can't get this stuff in the US apparently. And it's disappointing because it's really good. This part should be, oh hello. This part should be pretty self-explanatory. Take this guy up. And then you just take a decent strip, obviously. You're gonna wrap it up. Any part of the return line, you're gonna wrap it. Any part that was wrapped up as you were taking it apart, wrap it back up. Any part on the high side of things, the hot side, you're gonna leave exposed because you want that to cool in the ambient temperature. The cool stuff, you don't want to absorb the heat from the ambient temperature. So give it a good few wraps around like that, and then that'll be it for the installation. We'll come back once it's all wrapped up for the charging of the Freon and starting it up.